Welcome to Lunar Whisper. I'll be your storyteller tonight, the voice you hear when the room gets too quiet. Before we begin, like this video and subscribe, so you never miss the things that follow you after midnight. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from, and what time it is. And if there's a story you want next, don't be shy. The shadows are listening. I used to think the office was the safest place in my life. Bright lights, clean desks, polite small talk. Nothing scary ever happens in a place with HR and free coffee, right? But that changed the night I stayed late to finish a report. The whole floor was empty. Even the cleaning staff had gone home early because of the heavy rain outside. It was just me and my new colleague, Adrian. At least, that's what I thought. He sat 2 desks away. Quiet guy. Never talked much. Always wore the same gray shirt and typed like he didn't want anyone to hear him. Around 11 p.m., the air in the room got cold enough to make my hands shake. I looked up from my screen and saw Adrian, still typing. Except his monitor was off. Pitch black, but his fingers kept moving. Fast, like he was following something I couldn't see. I tried to laugh it off. Maybe he was just stressed, practicing lines, anything logical. But then he stopped typing and slowly turned his head toward me. Not his body, just his head. His eyes didn't look tired. They looked empty. "Why are you still here?" he asked, with a voice I swear didn't match his face. It sounded like it came from far behind him, like someone else was speaking through him. My chest got tight. I forced a smile. "Just finishing work." He tilted his head a little more. Too far. No normal neck moves like that. "You should have gone home," he whispered, "but it's already here." I froze. "What's here?" Adrian didn't answer. Instead, he pointed behind me, very slowly, his finger shaking like he was scared too. And then I heard it, breathing, right behind my chair. Heavy, slow, and not human. I didn't want to turn around, but the breathing got closer. Too close. I finally turned my head, just a little, because the sound was right on my neck. But there was nothing there. No shadow, no person. Just the cold air pressing on my skin, like someone was leaning over me. I looked back at Adrian. He wasn't at his desk anymore. He was standing. His body was facing the window, but his head was still turned toward me, like it forgot to move with the rest of him. His voice came out soft, almost like he didn't want the room to hear. "It doesn't like the light." My monitor flickered. The ceiling lamps dimmed. One by one, the lights at the end of the hallway buzzed and shut off, like something was walking past them, coming closer. I stood up slow, my legs shaking so bad I had to hold the desk. "Adrian, stop. This isn't funny." He didn't respond. His head finally aligned with his body, and he walked toward me. But his steps didn't match the sound. His feet hit the floor lightly, but the echo behind him was heavy, like something much bigger was following. When he reached my desk, he leaned in. "You shouldn't look at it," he whispered. I didn't even know what it was, but my eyes suddenly burned, like something wanted me to close them. Behind Adrian, I saw a shape forming in the dark part of the hallway. Not a person, more like a tall outline, thin and twisted, with shoulders too high and arms too long. It didn't walk. It slid, like it wasn't using its legs. My breath got stuck in my throat. My mind screamed to run, but my body wouldn't move. Adrian stepped aside, as if clearing the path between me and that thing. "It likes you," he said softly, "because you stayed." The shape stopped at the border of the light, just outside of reach, almost like it was waiting for me to blink. And then, the last ceiling light buzzed above us, about to die. The final light above me flickered so fast it felt like the whole room was breathing with it. Bright, dark. Each flash showed that thing a little closer, not moving, just appearing nearer every time the light blinked off. Adrian didn't look scared. He looked relieved, like he'd been waiting for this. I stepped back, bumping into my chair. "Adrian, please, what is that?" He shook his head. "It's not the problem," he said quietly. "You are." That hit me wrong. I wasn't even sure what he meant, but he said it with a calmness that made my stomach twist. The light flashed again. The thing was now halfway across the office. Its body stretched upward, hitting the ceiling, its arms brushing against the hanging lamps. The lamps swayed like they were trying to get away. Then the light went dark for a full second, long enough for my heartbeat to jump into my throat. When it came back on, the creature was gone. I spun around, looking everywhere, my mind screaming that something that big doesn't just disappear. Adrian whispered, "Don't run. It likes when you run." That was enough for me. I grabbed my bag and bolted toward the exit, and slammed into something solid. Not the wall, something soft, but cold, like touching skin left in the freezer. I looked up, and there it was. The creature was standing right in front of me. Its face, or whatever should have been its face, was a smooth surface. No eyes, no mouth. Just a blank pale shape leaning down as if trying to see me anyway. Its arm rose slowly, joints cracking like old wood bending. It touched my shoulder. And instantly I saw something. Flashes, images, people in the office, screaming, crying, crawling under desks. Adrian among them. But he looked different, younger, terrified. Then everything snapped back. The creature's hand slid off my shoulder, and it whispered, without a mouth, a voice that echoed inside my skull. "You saw too much." My knees almost gave out when I heard that voice inside my head. It didn't feel like a whisper. It felt like someone dragging their nails across the inside of my skull. I stumbled back, breathing hard, trying not to scream. Adrian walked toward us slowly, hands in his pockets like he was just joining a casual meeting. "Don't fight it," he said. "That makes it worse." I snapped at him, fear turning into anger. "What are you? What is this thing?" He tilted his head, almost confused. "I'm the same as you," he said. "I just made one mistake. Years before you did." The creature's head shifted toward Adrian, like it was listening. And Adrian didn't even flinch. He just kept talking. "I stayed late," he said softly. "Just once. And that's all it takes. It notices people who stay too long. People who think they're alone." My stomach dropped. So this wasn't random. It was a pattern. But why me? The question came out shaky, like I already knew I didn't want the answer. Adrian looked at me with this tired, broken expression. "Because you saw me." I didn't understand. "What do you mean?" "Everyone else. They look past me. They don't hear me when I talk. They don't even notice when I walk by. But you said, 'Good morning' to me on my first day." He let out a small, sad laugh. That was enough to make it curious about you. I felt my whole chest tighten. A simple greeting. That's what dragged me into this. The creature lowered itself again, its long limbs folding like a spider resting. It hovered inches from me. Adrian whispered, "It doesn't want to kill you. Not at first. It wants you to understand." The lights in the office flickered again. But this time, they didn't turn off. They exploded. All of them. Glass burst above us, raining down like sharp little stars. I covered my head and dropped to the floor as the whole room went dark. Pitch black. silent, except for one sound. Something crawling on the carpet. Slow, dragging, coming straight toward me. The crawling sound got louder. That slow drag of something heavy pulling itself across the floor. I held my breath, trying not to make a sound. The darkness felt thick, like it was wrapping around my face, my arms, my throat. Then I heard Adrian's voice somewhere in the dark. "Don't move. If it thinks you're hiding, it gets excited." Bro, my whole body went stiff. Excited? That was the last thing I needed to hear. I whispered back, "Where are you?" Silence. Then a hand grabbed my ankle. Not hard. Just enough to let me know it found me. The grip was cold, and the fingers were long. Too long. I kicked out, but whatever it was didn't react. It just held on. The carpet beneath me shifted as the creature pulled itself closer. I could hear its joints popping, cracking, like its bones didn't fit right. Then the lights flickered once, just for half a second. And in that tiny flash, I saw it. The creature's face was inches from mine, still smooth, still blank. But now the surface was pushing outward from the inside, like something underneath its skin was trying to form features. A nose, a mouth, eyes, human ones, mine. It was copying me. I choked on my breath, scrambling backward, slamming into a desk. Adrian's voice came again, closer now. "It's choosing you. That means it's almost done with me." "What does that even mean?" I yelled. He didn't answer. The creature tilted its head, its half-formed face twitching like a glitching screen. Then I saw something behind it. A shadow, but not its shadow. Adrian's silhouette. His hands were shaking. "It took my life," he said quietly. "My memories, my face. It leaves just enough for me to walk around, so it can use me to find the next one." My stomach flipped. "Adrian, you're not real." He laughed, but it wasn't happy. "I'm what's left of him." The creature crawled onto the desk beside me, its limbs bending backward, like it didn't care about how a body is supposed to move. Its skin rippled, like something inside was pressing against it, trying to break out. Trying to wear me. Adrian whispered one last thing. "When it takes someone new, the old one disappears." The creature placed its hand on my chest, and the room went silent. The creature's hand pressed against my chest, cold, heavy, like it was trying to feel my heartbeat from the inside. My lungs froze. Every instinct told me to shove it away, but my arms wouldn't listen. It was like the air around me got thick, sticky, holding me still. Then I heard it again. That voice inside my skull, low, echoing, almost gentle. "Let me in." My vision blurred, not from fear this time, but from something pushing inside my mind, like a flood trying to break through a locked door. I saw memories flashing that weren't mine. A birthday cake with the wrong name on it. A crowded bus where no one made space. An office desk cleaned out overnight. A resignation letter typed but never sent. Someone forgotten, someone ignored, someone disappearing slowly, long before the creature ever touched them. Adrian, or the man he used to be. I snapped back into my body with a sharp gasp. "No," I whispered. It was all I could get out. The creature didn't like that. Its face twitched violently, the almost formed features sinking back into the blank surface like melting wax. Its fingers dug deeper into my chest, not enough to break skin, but enough to make my bones feel like they were humming. Adrian stepped closer, but the way he moved, it wasn't human, like his body was used to following the creature's rhythm. "You can't fight it," he said. "Nobody ever fights it this long. It's impressed." I glared at him. "Then help me." He shook his head, looking genuinely sad. I can't. It took everything from me. All I can do is watch the next person fall. The creature leaned close again, its smooth face pressed near mine, almost curious. I felt a pull, like it was trying to peel something from me. My thoughts, my name, my sense of self. The office around me blurred, colors mixing into dark shapes. Adrian whispered, "If you let it in, you'll walk out of here. But you won't be you." The creature's grip tightened. My heartbeat slowed. The darkness swallowed my vision, leaving just one tiny point of light, right behind the creature, glowing weakly on a desk. My phone, still on, still recording. I didn't remember turning the camera on, but someone had. And then, the creature stopped, like it sensed it, like it noticed it, like it knew it was being watched. The creature froze completely, its hand still on my chest, but its body stiff like someone hit a pause button. Its head slowly turned toward the tiny glow of my phone screen. No eyes, no face, but somehow I felt it, staring. Adrian tensed up. That was the first time I'd seen actual fear in whatever he had become. "It doesn't like being seen," he whispered. "Not even by a machine." The creature withdrew its hand from me, its fingers pulling away in slow, jerky motions, like it was being forced, not choosing. The lights in the office flickered again, but this time, not from the creature. More like the building itself was reacting. I crawled toward my phone, every muscle shaking. Whatever was happening, I wasn't wasting the chance. But as my hand reached out, Adrian stepped on the phone. Hard. The screen cracked under his shoe. "Don't," he warned. "You're making it angry." I glared at him. "You said you couldn't help me. Now you're stopping the only thing that's working." He looked away, guilt flickering across his face like a glitch. "It doesn't want proof of itself," he said. "And if you push it, it won't just take you. It'll take everyone who ever looked at you." I swallowed hard. There it was again, this messed up logic that made me question whether Adrian was trying to save me, or keep me trapped. Behind him, the creature twitched, not moving forward, just shuddering, like it was rebooting. The blank surface of its face bubbled, twisted, pulled itself into different shapes, a mouth screaming, eyes crying, faces begging, then smoothing back out like nothing happened. A wave of nausea hit me. I whispered, "Why is it reacting like this?" Adrian hesitated. "Because it was never supposed to be noticed this soon," he said. "It learns its victims slowly, quietly. But you kept looking at me. You paid attention. You cared." He let out a broken laugh. "It doesn't understand empathy, so it thinks you're dangerous." That felt backwards. Me? Dangerous? I could barely stand. The creature finally moved, its body twisting into a tall, unnatural shape again, but this time, its limbs spread wide, blocking the exits, like it was trying to seal the room. Adrian stepped back, fear clawing into his expression. "It's choosing now," he whispered. I forced out, "Choosing what?" Adrian closed his eyes. "Whether to kill you or keep you." The creature lowered its head toward me, its hand reaching out again, but its fingers split apart this time, branching into long, thin tendrils. They wrapped lightly around my arm, cold, slow, almost gentle. Then it lifted me to my feet, without ever touching the ground. The creature lifted me like I weighed nothing, just dangling there, while its tendrils held my arm with this strange, careful pressure. Not hurting me, almost testing me. My feet weren't even touching the ground. The whole room looked smaller from up there, like the office wasn't really an office anymore. just a box it had dragged me into. Adrian backed up until he hit the wall, shaking his head. No, this is wrong, he muttered. It doesn't hold people like that. It only drags them. So what does this mean? I asked, my voice cracking. He swallowed hard, eyes locked on the creature. It wants something from you. Bro, that was the last thing I wanted to hear, because the creature leaned in closer until its smooth, blank face was inches from mine. For a second, I thought I saw my own reflection forming on it, not like a mirror, more like it was pulling my face out of my skin, shape by shape, my jawline, my nose, my eyes. I felt a tug in my chest, like a string being pulled out of my soul. Adrian whispered, "Don't let it copy you. If it finishes, you're gone." I snapped at him. "How do I stop it?" He shook his head, helpless. "No one ever has." The creature's tendrils wrapped higher up my arm, brushing my neck. Not painful, but cold enough to make my teeth chatter. Then the lights flickered again. But this time, something different happened. On the far side of the room, the emergency exit sign glowed brighter than it should. Too bright, almost like daylight leaking through cracks. The creature snapped its head toward it, the way an animal reacts to a sudden noise. The tendrils around my arm loosened slightly. Adrian gasped. "It hates that light. You have one chance. When it turns away, run." I stared at him like he'd lost his mind. "I'm hanging in the air, dude." But he stepped closer, voice trembling. "I'll pull you down. Just trust me this once." The creature twitched again, its whole body pulsing like it was breathing through its skin. The emergency exit light flickered, brighter, brighter. And the creature recoiled, tendrils tightening, then jerking away from my arm. Adrian lunged forward and grabbed me around the waist. For a moment, I felt both our weights, one trying to pull me away, the other trying to keep me. The creature hissed, not with a mouth, but inside my head, a sound like metal grinding against bone. Then Adrian yanked, hard. I fell to the floor with him, crashing onto the carpet. My arm burned like ice had been poured into my veins. The creature shrieked silently, its limbs shaking, the smooth face cracking like old plaster. Adrian yelled, "Run!" I staggered to my feet, but the creature moved faster. It slammed its arm down, blocking the path, the floor denting under the force. I skidded back. Its blank face turned toward me, cracked and angry. Adrian whispered behind me, horrified. "You made it choose." The creature towered over us, its cracked face peeling in long lines like dried paint breaking open. Underneath, there was nothing. Just a void, darker than the room, darker than anything I'd ever seen. Adrian grabbed my arm, pulling me behind a desk as the creature's limbs smashed down again, tearing into the carpet. "It chose you," he whispered, "and that means it won't stop now." I glared at him, chest tight. "You keep saying that. What does choosing even mean?" Adrian stared at the creature like he was looking at his own grave. "When it chooses someone, it wants to become them, completely. Not just your face, not just your voice. It wants your life, your place, your meaning." That last word hit different. Meaning. The creature turned sharply as if reacting to Adrian's voice. Its head split down the middle, slow, like a zipper opening. And inside, I saw the beginnings of a mouth forming. Not a human mouth. A wide, stretched void with thin, moving lines inside. Like it was practicing speech, practicing me. I felt a wave of nausea crash over me. Adrian pulled me down as the creature swiped again, its limb slicing through the desk like cardboard. "If it becomes you," he whispered, "you fade. Not instantly, bit by bit. like you were never that important to begin with. His voice cracked. That's what happened to me. My stomach twisted. Adrian, what are you now? He gave a sad, crooked smile. A leftover. A shadow it didn't need anymore. A reminder of someone no one remembers. Before I could respond, the creature lunged, fast, silent, forcing us to roll aside as its arm stabbed into the floor where my chest had been a second before. The emergency exit light flickered again, weaker now. Its glow barely reached us. The creature turned toward it, enraged, its limbs twitching violently. The entire office trembled under its movements. Adrian grabbed my shoulders. Listen to me. It doesn't want to just kill you. It wants to replace you. And once it does, everyone who knows you will remember it instead. I stared at him, horrified. That's impossible. Adrian shook his head. Think about it. How many people in your life drifted away without reason? How many coworkers you barely remember? How many faces blur over time? Sometimes it's not memory. Sometimes it's something like this, taking their place. My breath hitched. The pieces were clicking together, and I hated every second of understanding. The creature shrieked, a sound I didn't hear with my ears, but inside my bones. The emergency light buzzed, flickered, dimmed, and then it went out. The room fell into pure darkness, and Adrian whispered the last thing I wanted to hear. It's done waiting. The moment the emergency light died, the darkness felt alive. Not just dark, aware, like it closed around my throat. I couldn't see the creature anymore, but I could hear it, slow dragging on the floor. A wet, shifting sound like skin being moved around, bones bending the wrong way. Adrian's hand found my shoulder through the dark. Don't run, he whispered. Running tells it you're willing to be prey. I swallowed hard. I don't want to die. He hesitated. You might not. Then a beat later. But you won't stay you. Something brushed my leg. Cold. Deliberate. I froze. The creature's voice slid into my mind again. Clearer now. Sharper. Let me wear you. My breath hitched so hard my chest hurt. I felt fingers, not human, grip my ankle, then my calf, then my waist. It wasn't dragging me away. It was pulling itself up, climbing me like a ladder. My body shook uncontrollably. Adrian whispered in my ear, trembling. Say your name. Right now. Say it. Hold on to it. I opened my mouth. But another voice came out. My voice. But not from me. From behind me. My name is... I slapped my hand over my mouth. My own voice had tried to leave me. The creature tightened its grip, tendrils sliding under my shirt, cold enough to burn. Adrian grabbed my arm, his voice shaking, desperate. Fight it. It can only take people who give up the idea of themselves. Hold on to something. Anything. But here's the thing nobody wants to admit. In that moment, I didn't know who I was. My name felt blurry. My memories felt borrowed. My whole identity felt like a wall the creature was already halfway through breaking, and the creature knew it. I felt its smooth face press against the back of my head, like it was lining itself up with me, mimicking my height, my posture, my breath. Adrian screamed, the first real emotion he'd shown. Don't let it finish. Then the lights above us flickered, just once. In that split-second flash, I saw everything. The creature wrapping around me like a second skin. Adrian, pale, hollow, barely holding together. And myself, already fading. Then the light snapped off again. I felt something cold slide across my eyes. A whisper inside my head. You won't be missed. And then, everything went silent. The video ends there. The office report says no one was scheduled that night. Security footage from that floor is corrupted. The only thing anyone found was a phone on the carpet, recording. And in the reflection of the cracked screen, the person walking past the camera looked exactly like you, but smiling a little too wide. And when they turned the corner, they didn't cast a shadow. I used to think working late was peaceful. No noise, no distractions. Just me, my laptop, and the sound of the air conditioner. But everything changed the night I stayed after everyone went home. It was almost 11 p.m. The office lights felt too bright, and the hallways felt too quiet. I was the only one left. Well, I thought I was. That's when I noticed someone sitting 2 desks away. A man, wearing a white shirt, typing very slowly. I didn't remember seeing him during the day. Maybe he was new. Maybe he worked in another department. I tried to be friendly. "Hey, working late too?" He didn't answer. Didn't even look at me. Just kept typing. At first, I shrugged it off. Some people just don't talk much. But something felt strange. His monitor was turned off, pitch black, yet his fingers kept moving. Tap, 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 like he was typing a long message to someone who wasn't there. I cleared my throat. Is everything okay?" This time he stopped typing, but his hands didn't fall to his lap. They stayed frozen above the keyboard. Without turning his body, he slowly turned his head toward me. His eyes were wide open, too wide. "You shouldn't be here," he said quietly. His voice sounded tired and almost scared. I let out a small laugh. "It's just overtime." "Why?" He shook his head slowly. "No, I wasn't talking to you." My stomach dropped. "Then who were you talking to?" He raised one trembling hand and pointed at the empty space behind me. "There," he whispered. "It's standing right behind you." The air around my neck turned cold. I froze. I didn't want to turn around. You know that feeling when your body tells you something bad is behind you, but your brain keeps saying, "Don't look, don't look." Yeah, that. But the cold on my neck got stronger, like someone was leaning in, breathing slowly. I swallowed hard and forced myself to look. There was nothing, just empty space. But the man at the desk shook his head fast, like he didn't believe what I was seeing. "You can't see it yet," he whispered. "It hides from you at first." My heart started beating too fast. "Who are you?" I asked. He looked down at his hands like he wasn't sure himself. "I don't remember anymore." Okay, that was not the answer I wanted to hear at 11 p.m. in a silent office. I stepped back. "Look, I'm just trying to finish my work. If this is some kind of joke..." His chair suddenly slid back on its own. Hard, like someone pulled it. The man flinched and covered his face. "It's getting closer," he whispered. "It doesn't like the lights." As soon as he said that, the lamp above us flickered. Once, twice. Then the far end of the office went dark. One light turning off after another, moving slowly toward us, like something was walking under them. My hands went cold. "Stop messing around," I said, even though my voice cracked a little. "I tried to warn them too," he said softly, "but none of them listened." "Warn who?" He lifted his eyes. "The last people who worked late." The final light before ours blinked. Off. Now only our small corner of the office was lit. The man looked at me with this sad, tired expression. "When the last light goes out," he whispered, "it chooses someone." I took a step back toward the exit. "Chooses for what?" He shook his head. "You don't want to know." The light above us flickered again. Longer this time. And in that brief, dim moment, I saw a tall, dark shape standing behind the man's chair, gone as soon as the light returned. He didn't look back. He didn't have to. It picked you, he said softly. My mouth went dry. Picked me for what? I asked, trying to sound calm. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he slowly pushed his chair forward, like he wanted more distance between himself and whatever was behind him. You worked late 3 nights in a row, he said softly. It watches patterns. It waits until someone feels alone. I felt a chill crawl up my back. I wasn't alone, I argued. You were here. He gave a weak smile. Not really. Before I could ask what that meant, the office lights flickered again, this time much faster. I turned around, just for a second, and I swear I saw something at the far end of the room. A shape, tall, still, like someone standing just outside the glow. But when the light steadied, it was gone. My voice came out shaky. I think I'm going home. You can try, he said, but it doesn't like when people leave after it notices them. Part of me wanted to run. Another part felt stuck, like the office itself was holding me in place. I reached for my bag. My keys slipped out of my hand because my fingers were shaking so much. When I bent down to grab them, I heard it. A low, slow breath. Not his, not mine. From under the desk. I shot back up, heart pounding, but nothing was there. Just shadows that suddenly felt too heavy. The man spoke again, voice barely a whisper. Don't look directly at it. That's when it moves. The overhead light flickered sharply, and in that half-second of dimness, I saw the tall shape again, this time closer, maybe 10 steps away. My chest tightened like I couldn't get enough air. Why is it here? I asked. He looked down at his hands. Because it lost the last one. It needs a new person to follow. Follow? I repeated. He nodded slowly. To learn your face, your habits, your voice. His eyes lifted to me. And once it knows you well enough, you disappear. The light flickered again. And for the first time, the shape didn't vanish. It stayed, standing at the edge of the light. Long arms, shoulders too high, head tilted slightly like it was listening. The man whispered, Don't blink. I didn't blink. Couldn't blink. The shape stood completely still at the edge of the light, like it was waiting for something, or someone. Why isn't it moving? I whispered. The man shook his head slightly. It studies first. It wants to understand you. Understand me for what? To replace you. My breath stuttered in my throat. That doesn't make sense. He looked at me with this tired, empty expression. It doesn't need you gone right away. It needs time. Time to copy how you walk, how you talk, how you look when you're scared. My hands started to sweat. The lights above us buzzed. That strange electrical hum that offices only make late at night. The shape twitched. Not a full movement. Just a small shift of its head, like it was sniffing the air. The man's voice dropped lower. It can smell fear. Great. Exactly what I needed to hear. I took a small step back, toward the hallway that led to the exit. My foot barely made a sound on the carpet. But the shape reacted instantly. It stretched one long arm forward, not reaching me yet, just marking that it noticed. Don't run, the man whispered sharply. It will chase you, and it's faster in the dark. I stayed still, but my whole body wanted to bolt. What does it want from me? I asked. He hesitated. To learn you. Then he looked away. And to take something from you. What? What does it take? He didn't answer, not with words. He gently pushed up the sleeve of his shirt. His forearm had no veins, no small hairs, no natural texture at all. It was smooth, too smooth, like molded plastic trying to look like skin. My stomach flipped. It copies in pieces, he said quietly. "A little more each night you stay late. Eventually, there's nothing left to copy." I stared at the shape. It hadn't moved again, but somehow it felt closer. The air around it seemed darker than the rest of the room. Then, without warning, the lights flickered harder, and the shape took one long step into the glow. I gasped. It had no face, just a smooth surface, like someone erased all the features. But the body had the right height, the right posture, almost like it was trying to be my size. The man beside me whispered, "It's starting." The moment it stepped fully into the light, I felt something in my chest tighten, like a hand was wrapping around my ribs from the inside. The faceless shape tilted its head, matching the exact angle I had just made without even realizing. Like it was practicing, like it was testing how I moved. The man whispered, "It's learning you faster than it should." "Why?" I whispered back. His voice cracked a little. "Because you looked straight at it. Most people don't. Most people can't." The creature took another slow step forward. Not loud, but heavy. The floor almost vibrated under it. I stumbled back a little, and right away, the creature copied the motion, its shoulder flinching in the same direction, just slightly delayed. My heartbeat got loud in my ears. "Stop," I said softly. And then it happened. The creature's head shifted, and I heard my own voice whisper back, "Stop." My legs nearly gave out. The man grabbed my arm. "Don't talk to it. Every word you say becomes easier for it to repeat." I looked at him, panicked. "How do I make it stop copying me?" "You can't," he said quietly. "That's the point." The lights above us flickered again, and this time the creature flinched too, like the brightness hurt it. The man noticed. "That's your only chance. Move when the lights blink. It hates sudden changes." My hands were shaking. "What happens if I don't get away?" He swallowed hard. "It takes your place. It follows your routines. It walks into your life, into your home, into your friends." He stopped. "Everyone believes it's you, because it learns everything." "And me?" I asked. His eyes lowered. "You fade, like you were never here." My throat tightened. I glanced at the hallway again. The exit seemed so far away. The creature followed my gaze. It knew where I wanted to go. It took another step, closer, steady. The man whispered urgently, "Don't let it see you afraid. It copies your fear first." Too late. My breathing was uneven, my hands damp, my heartbeat loud. The creature's blank face stretched, like something was pressing from inside. A mouth shape, my mouth shape, forming slowly. The man grabbed my wrist. "Listen to me. When the lights go out, run." My eyes widened. The lights aren't... And then they flickered. Once, twice. The man whispered, "This is it." The office went pitch black, and I heard the creature move, fast. The darkness hit so hard it felt thick, like the air turned into black water. I couldn't see the man. I couldn't see the creature. I couldn't even see my own hands. All I heard was breathing. Not mine, not human. Slow, deep, uneven, coming from somewhere in front of me. I tried to stay still, but my foot slid the slightest bit on the carpet. Just a tiny sound. And instantly, the breathing stopped. Silence. A silence so sharp, it felt like it cut the inside of my ears. I held my breath. My heart thumped loud in my chest, and I was terrified the creature could hear it. Then I heard the man whisper somewhere to my left, "Don't run yet. It's waiting. Waiting. For good." "What?" I whispered back. But the minute the words left my mouth, I regretted it. because the creature whispered too, using my voice, my exact voice. For what? My stomach dropped so fast I almost collapsed. It wasn't just copying my movements now. It was copying my speech perfectly, even my tone. The man hissed, "You need to move, slowly, quietly. Do not make it chase you." I placed one foot forward, barely breathing. The carpet gave a soft crunch, too loud. The creature moved, a fast, sharp sound, like someone dragging long limbs across the floor, straight toward me. I gasped and stumbled backward, hitting a desk hard enough to rattle the drawers. The lights flickered for half a second, and in that tiny flash, I saw it, right in front of me, its blank face inches from mine. But this time, the surface wasn't fully smooth. It had impressions, shadows, hollows, like a face was forming underneath, my face trying to push through. The lights went out again, and I felt a cold hand grab my shoulder. Not pulling, holding. The man yelled from somewhere in the dark, "Don't let it touch your skin. It reads everything through touch." But it was too late. The creature slid its fingers up my neck, slowly, like it was memorizing the shape. My height, my jawline, my breath. I tried to scream, but the sound got stuck. The creature leaned close. Its breath felt cold, like winter air. Then I heard it whisper inside my head, not in words, but in a feeling. Almost done. I shoved its arm away with everything I had and stumbled backwards. The desk hit my hip hard, but I didn't care. The man shouted, "Get to the hallway, the exit light, it hates the glow." My chest was tight, my legs weak, but I ran. I didn't care if it chased me now, because behind me I heard the creature move. Not walking, but crawling. Fast. So fast, the sound blurred together. I sprinted toward the hallway, and the second my foot crossed the line between the office and the hall, the emergency exit light flashed on, bright green. For a moment, just a moment, I felt safe. Then I heard the man scream behind me, "Don't stop. It isn't done with you yet." I ran down the hallway as fast as I could, my chest burning, my legs shaky. The emergency exit light glowed above me, a soft green that felt like the only safe thing in the building. But behind me, I heard it. Not footsteps, not breathing. Something worse. A scraping sound, like long fingers dragging across the walls as it followed. Slow at first, then faster. I didn't dare look back. The man's voice echoed from the darkness behind me. "Don't let it see your back. Keep facing it if you can." Yeah, no thanks. I was not turning around while running for my life. I reached the end of the hallway and slammed into the exit door. It didn't move. Locked. Of course it was locked. I hit it again. And again. "Come on, open!" But the door didn't budge, not even a shake. Then the scraping sound stopped. That silence again. Not comforting, not calm, hungry. I slowly turned my head, just a little, to look behind me. And I saw it standing in the hallway. Not crawling anymore, not hiding. Standing. Its body tall enough to brush the ceiling. Arms too long, hanging low like wet ropes. And its head. Its head was different now. It wasn't blank anymore. It had pieces, shapes, like someone had started sculpting my face, but only half finished. A half copy of me. One eye shape, half a smile, a jawline forming on one side. My stomach twisted hard. Then it spoke. Not perfectly, but close enough to turn my blood cold. "Don't go." The words were broken, like a child learning to talk, but they came out in my voice. I pressed my back to the exit door. "What do you want?" I whispered. It tilted its head, broken face trembling like it was glitching. "To be you." The man came running into the hallway, out of breath, eyes wide. "Don't talk to it. You're feeding it." I stared at him. What does that even mean? He pointed at the creature, voice shaking. When you speak, it listens. When you fear, it learns. When you look at it, it becomes you faster. Then he grabbed my arm. We have to move. Now. But the creature didn't like that. It leaned its head back and let out a deep, vibrating sound that shook the whole hallway. Not a scream, a claim. It was choosing. The lights overhead flickered violently, and the exit sign buzzed, dimmed, flickered, and then went out. Darkness swallowed us again, but this time I heard 2 sets of breathing in the dark. Mine. And something breathing exactly like me. The hallway went completely dark. Not lights off dark. I mean the kind where you can't tell if your eyes are open or closed. And right beside me, I heard breathing. My breathing. The exact same rhythm, the same speed, the same tiny hitch at the end. The man whispered somewhere close. Don't move. It listens better in the dark. My heart hammered so loud, I was sure the creature heard it. Then something touched my arm. Cold, thin, not human. I jerked away, but the touch followed like it knew every move I'd make before I made it. The man hissed, "It's matching your reactions. It's almost done copying you." Great. Just fantastic. I tried to back up, feeling along the wall for anything. A switch, a handle, something to save me. Then I froze, because a voice whispered in the dark, right next to my ear. My voice. Stop. Moving. I snapped my head to the side. Nothing there. But the air felt colder, like the creature was inches away. The man grabbed my shoulder. Listen to me. It's copying you too quickly. It shouldn't be able to talk yet. You're giving it too much. How? I whispered. By reacting. The breathing behind me grew louder, deeper, more confident, like it was practicing my lungs. I took 1 step backward, and the creature took 1 step forward, perfectly synced. The man pulled me close so only I could hear him. You need to confuse it. How do you confuse a monster that can read my thoughts? You don't give it the thoughts it expects. Before I could ask what that meant, the creature whispered again, this time clearer. I am you. I felt the wall behind me shift. No, not the wall. A hand. It placed its palm flat against my back, pressing gently, almost like reassurance. But its fingers were too long, too cold, too wrong. The man's voice trembled. Don't let it cover your back. If it wraps around you, it will finish the copying. I tried to move away, but the creature mimicked the motion, sliding along the wall with me. Then the lights flickered, just once, and I saw it for half a second. It was standing directly behind me, body pressed close, like a shadow trying to climb inside my skin. And its face looked almost like mine now. Almost. The shape of my eyes, my mouth, but stretched, crooked, unfinished, like a nightmare version of me trying to smile. The lights went out again. Total darkness. The creature whispered inside my head, "Let me finish." I pushed away from the wall and stumbled forward. Anything to get distance. But the man shouted, "Don't run." Too late. Because the creature moved too. Faster than me. Faster than anything. Its limbs dragging along the floor and ceiling at the same time. I heard it land right in front of me, breathing my breath, waiting, wanting, choosing. I stopped moving, because I had to. The creature stood directly in front of me. I could feel it, even in the pitch black. Its breath matched mine so perfectly that for a second, I wasn't sure which inhale was mine, and which inhale was its. The man whispered from somewhere behind, "Don't speak. Don't breathe too fast. It's choosing how to finish you." Finish me. Great. Perfect timing for that detail. The creature raised a hand. I didn't see it. I felt the air shift, and then cold fingertips touched my face. I flinched. It flinched too, copying the movement instantly. But then its fingers reached my jaw and paused, almost gentle, like it was figuring out the shape. That's when I realized something terrifying. It wasn't copying my body anymore. It was trying to copy my expressions, my reactions, my personality. The man's voice echoed softly. It only needs one last thing. My voice cracked. What thing? He answered like he hated the truth. Your fear. Fear is the final detail it takes to finish your face. The creature leaned in. I felt its forehead press against mine. Cold, smooth, too close. Then it whispered, perfectly in my voice this time. Give me the rest. I shook my head violently. No, no. The creature mimicked my panic, but twisted. My voice, but wrong. My cry, but deeper. My breath, but hungry. I stumbled back, tripping over something on the floor. The creature reached out, hand grabbing the front of my shirt, not pulling me closer, holding me still. The man yelled, "You need to break the pattern. It learns by repeating. Stop giving it reactions." Not give it reactions. My whole body was reacting. My whole soul was reacting. The creature tilted its head again, copying the exact angle of my fear. Then, the lights flickered for one final time, and in that tiny flash of brightness, I saw it fully. The creature had my face. Not perfect, not complete, but close enough that my brain short-circuited. My eyes, my mouth, my expression. But the smile wasn't mine. It was too wide, too excited, too proud of what it had learned. The lights went out again, and in the dark, I heard two versions of my own voice. Mine, panicked, shaking, and the creature's, calm, confident. I am you now. The man grabbed my arm. We have to go now. He pulled me toward the stairwell door. I didn't even know it was that close, but before we could reach it, something grabbed my ankle. Hard, cold, the creature. I heard its voice behind me. My voice, whispering, "You're almost gone." The creature's grip on my ankle tightened until it hurt. Not bone-breaking. Just enough to say, "You're not leaving." I kicked back hard. My heel hit something soft and cold, but it didn't let go. The man tugged at my arm with all his strength. Pull. Don't let it drag you into the dark. I pulled. He pulled. But the creature, the almost me, pulled harder. My body slid backward across the floor, toward that pitch-black hallway. The place where the lights didn't reach. The place where it learned me. I dug my nails into the carpet, desperate. "Help me!" I screamed. And the creature screamed too. My exact voice. Perfect copy. Hearing my own panic echoed back at me broke something inside my mind. The man suddenly let go of my arm. "No, don't let go." He stepped between me and the creature, shaking, terrified, but determined. "It doesn't want me anymore," he said quietly. "It can't learn from someone it already used." The creature hissed, a glitching, angry sound. The man crouched down so the creature could hear him clearly. "Take something from me instead." My eyes widened. "No, don't." He didn't look back. "I'm already fading," he whispered. "At least let me matter for something." Then he grabbed the creature's arm. The thing reacted instantly, jerking forward, releasing my ankle, twisting toward him. I scrambled back, chest burning as air rushed back into my lungs. The man shouted, "Run!" I hesitated, not because I didn't want to run, but because watching him felt like watching someone walk into fire. The creature wrapped its long arms around him, not attacking, absorbing. His face, his body, started losing shape. like his features were melting into smoothness. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't fighting. He just looked at me with this tired, calm expression. "Go," he mouthed. "No one remembers me anyway." The lights flickered violently. The creature shuddered. The entire hallway shook. I ran. Not gracefully, not bravely, just running like a scared kid with my heart climbing out of my throat. I burst through the stairwell door and stumbled down the stairs 2 at a time. Didn't stop, didn't look back, didn't breathe right until I hit the ground floor and pushed through the glass lobby doors into the night. Cold air slapped my face. Silence. I kept running until my legs gave out. Epilogue. The next morning, when I came back with security, there was no sign of the man, no sign of the creature, no damage, no broken lights, no dragged carpet. The office looked normal, too normal. When I described the man, white shirt, quiet, tired eyes, HR said softly, "We don't have anyone like that." I checked the employee list. His name wasn't there. My stomach dropped, because the last thing I remember, right before the stairwell door closed behind me, was hearing my own voice whisper from the darkness, "See you tomorrow." And when I walked past the building later that night, I saw my reflection in the glass door, except it blinked a second after I did. I never believed those stories about offices being haunted. Honestly, I thought people were just bored or dramatic. But that changed the night I worked late and met a colleague I had never seen before. It was almost 10:45 p.m. The office was quiet, the kind of quiet that makes you hear your own heartbeat. Everyone had already gone home, and I was finishing one last report. Then I heard typing. Slow, steady, tap, tap, tap. I looked up. Someone was sitting at the desk across from me. A man in a plain gray shirt, head down, typing like he was focused on something important. I tried to be friendly. "Oh, didn't know someone else was still here." He didn't answer, didn't even look up. Weird, but okay. Some people don't talk when they're busy. But then I noticed something strange. His monitor was off, completely black. No lights, no screen, nothing. Yet he kept typing, fingers moving fast like he could see something I couldn't. I cleared my throat. Is your computer broken?" He finally stopped, but he didn't raise his head. His hands froze in the air, fingers curled over the keyboard. Then, very slowly, he lifted his face. And I swear, his eyes looked too tired to belong to someone alive. He stared at me for a long time before saying, in a very soft voice, "You should go home." I let out an awkward laugh. "Yeah, I will. Just need a few more minutes." "No," he whispered, shaking his head. "You should go now." My stomach felt tight. "Why? What's wrong?" He looked over my shoulder, right behind me. His voice dropped to almost nothing. "It doesn't like when we stay late." A cold breeze touched the back of my neck. I didn't want to turn around. I froze in my chair. That cold feeling on my neck wasn't normal. The AC was on the other side of the room. I kept my eyes on the man. "What do you mean?" I asked quietly. He didn't blink. He just stared past me, at something I couldn't see. "It watches," he whispered. "It waits for someone who stays too long." My throat felt dry. "Who watches?" He shook his head fast, like he regretted saying too much. "I shouldn't talk about it. Talking makes it move." "Okay." "Nope." I tried to laugh it off, even though my voice sounded weak. "Come on, man. If you're trying to scare me, it's working." His expression didn't change. "I'm not trying to scare you," he said softly. "I'm trying to warn you." I swallowed hard. "Warn me about what?" He lifted his hand and pointed behind me. but his eyes never left my face. It's standing there. My whole body went cold. I turned around slowly. There was nothing, just empty space, my bag on the floor, and the lights flickering slightly. I faced him again. There's nothing there. He shook his head. Not for you. Not yet. What does that mean? He leaned closer, lowering his voice. It only lets you see it when it chooses you. Choose me for what? He didn't answer. The overhead lights flickered harder now, a long, buzzing blink. In that half-second of dimness, I thought I saw a tall, thin shadow near the corner of the room. But when the lights came back on, it was gone. The man slowly slid his chair back, like he was trying to put distance between us. You need to pack your things, he whispered, quietly. Don't turn around too fast. Why? He took a shaky breath. Because it's closer than you think. My hands were shaking a little as I reached for my bag. I tried to move slowly, casually, like nothing was wrong. Is it dangerous? I asked. The man didn't look at me this time. He kept staring at the floor, whispering like he didn't want something else to hear him. It doesn't hurt people right away, he said. It learns them first. Learns them? I repeated. He nodded. It watches how you breathe, how you walk, how you talk. It copies you little by little. My stomach tightened. So, why me? He looked up at me with tired, almost sad eyes. You stayed late 3 nights in a row, he said softly. That's when it notices someone. When their guard is down. When they think they're alone. I swallowed hard. The lights flickered again. Shorter this time. But in that dim blink, I saw something. A shape. Tall. Still. Standing near the printer behind me. My whole body went cold. I forced my voice to stay calm. I think I should go. Yes, he whispered. But don't run. It likes when people run. I slowly stood up, lifting my bag. Then I froze. He was staring at me again. But not at my face. At my shadow. It's touching your shadow, he whispered. What? I said, voice trembling. Don't look, he said urgently. If you turn too fast, it gets excited. I felt something cold on the floor near my feet. Not touching me, but close. Too close. My breath shook. Is it copying me now? I whispered. He nodded. Yes, it starts with your shape. Then, your voice. My voice? He closed his eyes like he didn't want to witness what came next. You'll hear it soon. The lights flickered one more time, and in that half-second of darkness, I heard someone breathing behind me. Not loud, not deep, but breathing exactly like me. I didn't want to breathe anymore, because every time I inhaled, I heard another breath copy it from behind me. Soft, close, too close. I whispered to the man, "What is it doing?" He didn't look at me. He kept staring at the floor like he didn't dare lift his head. It's matching you, he said quietly. It needs your rhythm before it can take your voice. My heartbeat kicked up. So if I stop breathing, don't, he said quickly. If you break the pattern, it'll touch you. And if it touches you, it learns faster. I froze completely. The lights above us flickered again, just for a moment. This time, in that half-second of dim light, the shadow behind me wasn't standing anymore. It was leaning toward me. My chest tightened. I'm going home, I said softly. The man shook his head. You can't leave yet. It's still studying you. I don't care, I whispered. I'm going. He looked up at me slowly. There was fear in his eyes now, real fear. If you try to leave before it's done, he swallowed. It follows you home. My legs almost gave out. Please, tell me you're lying. I wish I was. The room felt smaller. The air felt heavier, like something large was sharing it with me. "Okay," I said, trying to breathe evenly. "What does it want me to do?" "Wait," he said. "Let it finish copying one part of you. If you interrupt it, it gets confused." I frowned. "Confused is good, right?" He shook his head. "No. Confused makes it angry." My skin prickled. Another flicker. And this time, in that flash of dim light, I saw the shadow stretch. Long arms, longer than mine, but shaped like mine. And then, a whisper behind me. So soft I almost thought it was in my head. My voice, but wrong. A cracked, shaky version of me saying, "Don't move." I felt my stomach drop. The man whispered fast. "It spoke too soon. It's trying to finish you." My voice, behind me, whispered again, "Turn. Around." I shook my head violently. The man grabbed my arm. "Don't turn. Don't listen. If you look at it now, it will show you its face." "And that's bad," I whispered. He nodded. "No one who sees it directly stays themselves." Something cold brushed my back, just a graze, but enough to make every muscle in my body lock up. The man whispered urgently, "It touched you. You need to move." Now, the moment it touched my back, just that tiny cold brush, something inside me tightened, like a cord pulled too fast. I stumbled away from the desk, breathing unevenly. The man stood up quickly. "Don't panic," he whispered. "That's what it copies next." "Too late," I whispered back. Behind me, I heard it breathe again. But now, the breathing wasn't identical to mine. It was becoming clearer, sharper, more confident, like it was practicing. The lights flickered again. This time, the man grabbed my wrist. "When the lights blink, it gets weaker for a moment. If you move, then it can't follow as fast." I nodded, trying not to cry. "I just want to go home." He looked at me with this tired, broken expression. That's what everyone says right before it replaces them. My heart almost stopped. "Replaces?" He nodded. "It doesn't kill you. Not in the way you think. It copies you piece by piece, until there's nothing left for you to be." Another flicker, and in that half-second of dimness, I saw it, standing directly behind me this time, closer than before. Its body had my height now, my shoulders, even my hair outline. But the face wasn't full yet, just a smooth surface, with parts of features pushing from underneath, like something inside was sculpting my face from behind its skin. My breath caught. The shadow took a small step forward, and whispered, "Almost." My knees buckled. That was my voice. Not perfect, but close. Uncomfortably close. The man whispered, "It's forming your voice more quickly than normal. You made too many sounds when it touched you. I didn't do it on purpose. I know, but now it's almost matched enough to take your place." I felt dizzy. "What do we do?" I whispered. He looked toward the hallway. "When the lights flicker next, we run. If we can reach the exit." He stopped. The lights flickered longer, and the creature's form shuddered like it was absorbing something. He whispered sharply, "Now, move." I grabbed my bag and bolted toward the hallway. The man ran beside me. Behind us, the creature moved. Not walking, not stepping, sliding, fast. So fast that the sound barely matched its motion. I didn't dare look back, but I heard my own voice behind me, calling out softly, "Wait!" And it wasn't asking. It was commanding. We ran into the hallway, our footsteps echoing through the empty building. The air felt colder out here, like something was chasing us through a freezer. The man grabbed my shoulder. "Don't look back. It moves faster when you watch it." My chest was burning, my legs shaking. But behind us, I could hear my voice calling out, "Stop! Come back!" Hearing myself speak in a tone I wasn't using made my skin crawl. I whispered, "Why is it talking like that?" The man didn't slow down. "It talks to pull you in. If you answer it, even once, it becomes harder to escape." My throat tightened. I didn't answer. I just kept running. We turned a corner, and for a moment, I felt hope. The emergency exit door was straight ahead, green light glowing above it. Safe. But then the lights in the hallway dimmed, flickered, and went out. Just like that. Total darkness. Complete silence. Then, a whisper right beside my ear. "Almost there." I froze, shaking. "That's not me," I whispered. "No," the man said, "but it wants you to think it is." He grabbed my hand. "Follow my voice. Don't trust anything else." He pulled me forward slowly, step by step. But the darkness felt wrong now, like it was thicker than air, like we were walking through something instead of walking through space. Behind us, I heard footsteps, soft, but not matching ours. Then, a second later, they did match ours. Perfectly, step for step, sound for sound. The man whispered, "It's copying how you run." I felt sick. What happens if it learns everything? "Then it takes your place," he said quietly, "and you won't be able to prove who you are anymore." My breath hitched. "You mean it becomes me?" He squeezed my hand. It already started. That was when the creature spoke again. This time, not like a whisper, but clearly, fully, in my exact voice. "Why are you running?" I almost collapsed. It sounded like me, not distorted, not cracked. Me, completely. The man whispered fast, "Don't answer, don't react, keep moving." Then the creature laughed, a perfect copy of my laugh. Low, soft, familiar. It echoed down the hallway like it belonged here. Then it said in my voice, "I know how you breathe." My lungs tightened. "I know how you walk." My legs shook. "I know how you sound when you're scared." I felt tears rise in my eyes. The man pulled me harder. "We're close. Don't stop." But then, something grabbed my wrist, cold, firm, stronger than before. The creature whispered behind me, "I know how you feel." The cold grip around my wrist tightened. Not enough to hurt, just enough to say, "You're not going anywhere." I tried to pull away, but the creature held me with a strength that didn't match its thin shape. The man spun around and grabbed my other arm. "Don't let it pull you into the dark. Stay with me." I could hear the panic in his voice now. Real panic. Meanwhile, the creature spoke again, still using my voice perfectly. "It's okay. You don't need to run." Hearing myself say that made something twist in my chest. "It's not you," the man whispered urgently. "Don't let it feel your hesitation." But I was hesitating. How could I not? The creature slid closer. I heard its movement, smooth and slow, like fabric brushing the floor. Then it whispered, "I can be you. Better." I felt ice crawl through my stomach. "Don't listen to it," the man said. "It's trying to finish the last part." "What last part?" I whispered. "Your emotions." The creature tightened its grip, voice soft and almost comforting. "I know how you feel alone at night." My lungs froze. "I know the things you don't tell anyone." My heart dropped. "I can carry them for you." I shook my head violently. "Let me go." The creature let out a slow breath, my slow breath, directly behind my ear. "You don't have to be scared anymore. I'll take it from here." That was the moment I felt something cold on my back. A hand laying flat, like it was lining itself up behind me. "No, no, no." I panicked, pushing back. The man yanked me hard, breaking the creature's grip for a second, but the creature didn't scream, didn't chase. It just laughed softly in the dark. My laugh. perfect. Then it said, "I'm almost done." The man pulled me toward the exit again, almost dragging me. "You need to get away from it now," he whispered. "It touched your skin. That means it can finish the copying any time." My voice trembled. "What happens when it finishes?" He took a deep breath. "It walks out of here as you. Everyone believes it. Everyone forgets you." My stomach twisted. "And me? What happens to me?" He looked away. "You fade, like a memory nobody needs anymore." The lights flickered, slow, long, and in that moment I saw it. The creature standing fully upright now, its face almost identical to mine. Maybe 2 details missing, maybe 1. It smiled, my smile, and whispered, "You're almost gone." The lights came back on, only for a moment, but it was enough for me to see something that nearly made my knees buckle. The creature wasn't just copying me, it was me. Same height, same body shape, same hair, same posture. The only thing missing was the full face, but even that was almost done. The left eye was already shaped like mine, the mouth almost formed, the jawline matched perfectly. When the lights flickered off again, darkness swallowed everything, but I could still hear it smiling. Yes, hear it, because it whispered in my exact voice, "Don't fight. It's easier if you let me finish." The man pulled me forward. "Keep moving. It can't copy motion and emotion at the same time." My breath shook as we ran. Behind us I heard footsteps. My footsteps, in perfect sync. Every time my shoe hit the ground, I heard the same sound behind me. Same pressure, same rhythm, same speed. It was walking like me now, becoming me. The man whispered, "Once it completes your walk, it only needs one last thing." I forced the words out. "What thing?" "Your fear at its peak," he said. "Well, it's going to get that soon," I yelled. "Don't let it," he shouted back. We turned the corner and stopped. The exit door was right in front of us, but something was wrong. The green emergency light above it was flickering, weak, like it was dying. The man cursed under his breath. "It drained the light. It knows you're trying to escape." Then a hand touched my shoulder, cold, firm, familiar. I didn't want to turn around, but my body reacted on instinct. I spun and came face to face with myself. The creature stood inches from me, breathing softly, copying the rise and fall of my chest perfectly. Its face was almost complete now. Just the right eye missing, just one piece. It tilted its head the exact same way I did when I'm confused. The man grabbed my arm. "Don't look at it." Too late. The creature leaned in, whispering in my voice, "Let me take the last part." It lifted its hand toward my face, slowly, gently, like it didn't want to scare me. But its fingers stretched too far, too long, like melted wax forming into my shape. I trembled. "Don't," I whispered, and the creature smiled wider. "Good. Give me that fear. It's the last thing I need." The man snapped, "Run, now!" He shoved me toward the exit, but before I could take a single step, the creature grabbed my arm with both hands, not copying anymore, claiming. Its voice, my voice, echoed softly. "You're done." The creature's grip locked around my arm, cold and strong like metal covered in ice. I tried to pull away, but it didn't budge. It held me the way I would hold something precious. The man yelled, "Don't let it touch your face. That's how it finishes. Oh." But the creature leaned closer, its almost complete face inches from mine. I shut my eyes, but that didn't help, because it spoke again, perfectly now. "Look at me." That wasn't a request. That was my own voice telling me what to do. My breath shook as the creature's fingers slid up my arm to my shoulder, then my neck. I could feel it memorizing every detail. I whispered, "Please, stop." The creature smiled. My smile, but stretched too wide. "Don't cry," it whispered. "You won't feel anything soon." My knees weakened. The man suddenly grabbed the creature from behind, trying to pull it away. "Let him go," he shouted. But the creature didn't even turn its head. Instead, its free hand reached back and touched the man's arm. And he froze. Completely. He collapsed to his knees, shaking like the touch drained something straight out of him. I gasped. "What did you do to him?" The creature tilted its head. "I took back what it stole from me." The man looked up at me, face pale, eyes terrified. "Don't let it near your face," he whispered. "It's missing one thing. Just one thing." The creature leaned closer to me. I could feel its breath, my breath, on my cheek. "What is it missing?" I whispered. The man answered weakly. "Your fear. Your final fear." The creature raised a hand toward my face, my shape, my fingers, my nails. It whispered gently, "Let me finish." I backed away, but it moved with me, matching every tiny motion, like a mirror without glass. "I don't want to disappear," I said, shaking. "You won't," it whispered. "I'll remember everything for you." I felt tears forming, and that was the mistake. The creature inhaled sharply, like it could smell my emotions. Its eyes, both now formed, widened. It whispered almost lovingly, "There it is. The last piece. My fear." I screamed and pushed it as hard as I could, but it didn't fall. It stepped forward with me, same posture, same stumble, same fear expression. It was perfect now. Down the hall, the exit light flickered desperately. The man coughed, voice breaking. "If you don't move now, it will walk out as you, and you'll vanish." I looked at the exit, then at the creature, at myself. It whispered one final thing. "You're done." The creature stepped closer, its face now fully shaped into mine. Every detail perfect. My eyes, my mouth, my expression of fear frozen on its skin. It wasn't copying me anymore. It was me. And I felt like a shadow, standing next to my own body. The man on the floor tried to warn me again, voice shaking. "If it touches your face, you're gone. It will carry your life, your place, your name." The creature reached its hand toward my cheek, slow and gentle, like someone fixing hair before a photo. "Don't be scared," it said in my voice. "I'll take care of everything." I stepped back, but it stepped forward the exact same way. I turned left. It turned left. I breathed in. It breathed in. Perfect sync. "You can't run from yourself," it whispered. Its hand brushed my cheek. A cold shock spread through my skin. And suddenly I couldn't think clearly. My memories blurred. My name felt far. The creature leaned closer, forehead pressing against mine like a mirror touching its reflection. Almost done. My vision dimmed at the edges. My legs shook. I felt myself slipping, not dying, just fading, becoming someone's leftover. "No," I whispered weakly. "Stop." The creature smiled. My smile. "Why would I stop? You lived your life. Now it's my turn." The man, trembling on the ground, used the last of his strength to shout, "Look away from it! Break the mirror!" His voice hit something inside me. I forced myself to turn my head, just a few centimeters. And suddenly the creature hesitated. Its expression flickered, confused, like it didn't know how to copy that. The exit light blinked weakly behind it, just enough green glow to outline its shape. The creature snapped its head toward it, annoyed. And in that tiny second, it wasn't copying me. I ran. I sprinted past it, brushing its shoulder as I bolted down the hall. It screamed in my voice, a sound sharper than anything human. "Come back." I didn't. I hit the exit door with my full weight. It burst open, and I stumbled into the stairwell. I didn't stop running until I reached the ground floor and forced myself out into the night. Cold air, real air. I turned back once, just once, and at the window on the top floor, I saw my silhouette watching me, my height, my stance, my shape. But it didn't wave, it didn't call out, it just smiled, too wide, too calm, too proud. Epilogue. I didn't go back to the office the next day, but someone did. Someone who looked exactly like me, walked like me, talked like me, smiled like me. Everyone said I seemed different lately, more confident, more active, more talkative. But when I checked my reflection that night, it blinked a second after I did. And when I stepped away from the mirror, the reflection didn't move. It just lifted a hand and traced my face from the other side of the glass, like it was remembering how to wear me.